Okay, here we have my IHC 3 horsepower throttle governed engine I recently bought, and I'm sorry I don't have any video of it, but I wanted to get these pictures posted. First, I want to say I gotta give a big thank you to Shopdogsam. Please go check out his YouTube channel. If you like my stuff, you'll really love his stuff. That's Shopdogsam. After watching several of his videos, his workmanship is first class, and he inspired me to build one of these IHC engines here, this Type M, into a 3 horsepower. Or not into a 3 horsepower, but to make it a hit and miss engine. Normally these are throttle governed, and I'm going to turn this one into a hit and miss like he has some of his. These first pictures are just the block. I got the block down to bare metal, got it primed, sanded it, put some of this finishing putty on there, and I've sanded that off, primed it again, I think, then I finally painted it. Again, I'm sorry I don't have video of it. I was able though to take pictures of it, a few of them, step by step, as I was getting stuff done on it. Here's a few more parts, the bearings, side plates, or the bearing caps, the side plates, the camshaft, the cylinder head. I took those all down to bare metal, cleaned them up really well. Then I ended up primering them. And pretty much everything I know about these IHCMs I learned from watching all of Shopdogsam's videos. He can do amazing things with these Type M international engines. Here we have just some more parts. Got the breather for the back of the crankcase, the mixer, hand hole cover, the cam follower is hanging there. This is going to be one of the most elaborate rebuilds that I've done. I tried to do everything absolutely proper on this one, and I cleaned everything up just super and gave it a nice coat of primer. Here's the crankshaft. I got that all cleaned up. I put it in the lathe and polished up the journals with some emery, and I cleaned out the grease hole on these IHC type engines. The crank bearing is greased through the end of the crankshaft. There's a hole drilled through it all the way from the right hand end of the crankshaft. As you're looking at it, there's a hole drilled all the way down to the crank pin, and then a hole up to the journal area there, and that way you can grease that rod bearing with it running. Got the grease out of that anyway, and I got it full of new grease. Here's a flywheel. This originally was on the right hand side of the engine. but I am going to end up with it on the left hand side of the engine when I'm done with it. This is the flywheel that holds all the governor parts, and I've just been wire brushing this. It's too big to sandblast or put in my bead blast cabinet anyway, so I'm just wire brushing it, taking my time, getting it nice and clean. There's a picture of the governor weights and the governor collar. They came off the flywheel pretty good, not too much trouble at all. Used the hammer and a brass punch there and just carefully was able to tap them off. There you can see I'm just using a cup brush on my grinder to get rid of the rust on the cast iron. Everything has come apart pretty good, but it usually does on these old engines because it's never been exposed to salt. Here's a picture of the block after I got a coat of paint put on it. This it's actually satin black, but it hadn't finished drying yet in that picture, so that's why it looks pretty shiny. I actually prefer the satin or even a matte finish. There you can see I even cleaned out the crankcase area and gave that a coat of primer on the inside of that too. The inside of the cylinder water jacket area has been primered as well. I tried to do everything just perfect like I've seen on Shopdogsam's videos. I've seen him primer the inside of them too. There's a shot of the other side. Here's a picture of the pinstriping that I started. Obviously this is not going to be your typical antique engine rebuild here. This one I'm kind of doing what I want on. I'm going to make it a hit and miss anyway, so I thought I might as well make the whole thing custom. I got to tell you, I'm not very good at the pinstriping, but I really enjoy it. It can be pretty tedious, which usually isn't up my alley, but I really actually do enjoy the pinstriping. Here's another shot of it. You can see the paint is dry now. That's the satin black color that it's going to end up being. You can see, not very well, you can see a little bit of the pinstriping I've got on the back of it. Here's a picture of the pinstriping on the left side of the engine. Doesn't look too bad. It's going to look great, I think, once I get it finished. Like I say, it's not perfect. I rarely pinstripe, so I'm not great at it, but I do have fun doing it, and it came out good enough to suit me. There's a picture of what the red on top of the hopper looks like. I called that good enough for the top anyway. I think I'm going to add some more striping with a different color though. And there you can see in this picture the front and the right side of the hopper. Each one's a different design, and I like it. It's gonna be pretty cool when I finally get it done. As I get more and more progress made on it, I'll either shoot some actual video or take some more pictures. But again, I just want to give a shout out to Shopdogsam. He's the one that inspired me to go this far, I guess you'd say, with this 3 horsepower IHC. And this one's going to be kind of a custom. Thanks for watching.